Greetings, demons, and welcome to a Fortnite discussion video. So, you may already know, especially if you watch my item shop videos, that we recently got a brand new item shop tab called Vault Shop, or more specifically, Vaulted over a year. And, yeah, this was a really interesting thing. It brought back a lot of, in some cases, over 600 day, since last seen items, and it really has made a massive dent in what, most of the community would consider to be truly rare items, though unfortunately there weren't really much in terms of gliders touched, but it's fine. Skins are the most important thing in Fortnite, and yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to just quickly go over the top 10 rarest skins now, as well as just two other skins that I think are worth paying attention to, and two that I think will eventually become the very rarest, and I actually do have my reasons for that. But let's just go through them. So this is in order of the number 10 spot to the number 1 spot, but anyway, getting into it, the 10th rarest skin currently is Sash Sergeant, which I can't seem to say. This is like the 7th take. But anyway, Sash Sergeant was last seen 692 days ago, which is ridiculous for one. But what's even weirder is that Sash Sergeant is actually an NPC currently. And if I know anything about Fortnite and the NPCs that it chooses to put in the map, we're probably not going to see Sash Sergeant for a good while. It took forever for us to get a lot of skins to actually come into the shop because they were NPCs, or that at least appears to be the issue. So it's a very interesting skin. I quite like it. It's not something that I'd probably pick up, but nevertheless, I like the skin, and yeah, that's the 10th rarest skin right now. Now, number 8 and number 9 are actually joint, though I'm counting them as separate numbers just because it makes sense. But yeah, Star-Lord outfit and Black Widow outfit are both 707 days since last seen in shop. Now, we have seen the Black Widow outfit in the Wakanda Forever or the Black Panther trailer, and that is pretty much all we've seen of either of them. Star-Lord outfit does not appear in that trailer, and, when it comes to Black Widow outfit, we have a Black Widow, straight up. A brand new version of that skin, of that character. So it's very unlikely, at least now, that we're ever going to see it. We had a massive Marvel shop at the end of Season 4 of Chapter 2, and that did not include either of them. So at this point, I think if you have them, you're very lucky. I'm fortunate enough to actually have both these skins, making them my rarest. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're ever going to get either of them, which is really unfortunate, especially when it comes to Star-Lord outfit, because we don't have an alternative. At least with Black Widow outfit, we do have Black Widow based on her movie, though that movie's not out yet. It's just a shame that we don't have Star-Lord when, a lot of people have Groot and Rocket. It's a shame to not be able to complete that collection, because a lot more people have that Battle Pass than ever played when Star-Lord actually came out originally. So, yeah, hopefully one day we'll see them return. It could always happen eventually. I don't see why Marvel would be against it, and generally I don't think it's something that is really, going against what Fortnite have done. The skins still look very good. Maybe not as good as the new versions of Marvel skins, but at the end of the day, I don't really think there's a reason for them not to be brought back. But anyway, that's number 8 and 9. Number 7 is Cloudbreaker, who hasn't been seen in 717 days, which is incredible. Now, I don't have much to say about Cloudbreaker. I think it's an interesting skin, but generally it's not one I'm interested in. It is just interesting that there are other skins in his set that have returned. They were also very rare at one point, but they have come back. Some of his items are still very rare. They're in the top 50 at the very least. But yeah, Cloudbreaker has managed to pull up really high in recent months thanks to a lot of the top 20 just being released again. But yeah, 717 days, that's a long time. But that has nothing on number 6, Backbone, who hasn't been seen in 774 days. And that's just insane. And I personally understand why potentially they haven't brought back this skin. He's a biker, he's, one of the older looking skins, up there with Farmer Steel and characters like that, where, at the end of the day, as much as people will say it isn't, and I often say it isn't, Fortnite is still primarily played by children who want to have young looking characters. Characters like Sky are very, very popular because of that, and it does make a lot of sense that not everyone wants to play as, the stereotypical middle-aged biker gang member, you know what I mean? But I personally think Backbone is one of the better biker skins. His set is really good, and it's really a shame that we haven't seen him in so long. I hope that we will see him sooner rather than later, but as I say, it does kind of make sense that he hasn't returned in so long. Hey, we may see him eventually though, and that's always the hope. Number 5 is Absolute Zero, who, it's essentially a default skin. There are some changes to the model, but I can understand why they haven't brought this back. It was the same reason why a lot of other rare skins have remained rare. They're pretty boring. They're not really popular. They're not characters that people want to see because they're not really that interesting. Absolute Zero is, snow camo, which is something we've seen on a bunch of newer skins, and cheaper skins for that matter. So it makes a lot of sense why Absolute Zero would have kind of been abandoned, but he hasn't been seen in over 802 days. So that's kind of insane. It's really weird to think about that we haven't seen a skin in that long, but that's basically the extent to where most of them go, as we'll see with the next one, Hyperion, which hasn't been seen in 803 days. Literally, Hyperion came out the day before Absolute Zero last was seen. They were in back-to-back shops, and now they are number 4 and 5 of the rarest skins in Fortnite. It's kind of crazy. Hyperion is a skin that I'm not all too fussed with, once again. A lot of the rarest skins aren't skins that really, I care about. Really, in the top 10 at least, it's Black Widow and Star-Lord are the only ones that I actually have a true care for. But Hyperion is still cool. It has a nice colour scheme. I just don't think he's popular enough to come back, and that is probably why Epic have not brought him back in 803 days. But at the same time, a lot of people do actually like Hyperion, and I do understand that he is wanted, but just probably not vocally enough to actually come back anytime soon. Number 3 is Special Forces, who is such a basic skin. Once again, defaults, and 808 days since last seen. I can completely understand why. It's a skin that doesn't really need to come back. We have plenty of skins that look similar enough that it doesn't really matter. And yeah, Special Forces, I like the default that it's based on. And honestly, the black style, the black colour, it's pretty cool. But it's also very basic. So it makes a lot of sense why it's number 3. Number 2 is Radiant Striker, which it's very ironic that it's just Radiant Striker now, because once upon a time, Brilliant Striker was also right there in the top 5 rarest skins. And Brilliant Striker actually is in the shop as of recording this, and as of the vault actually being added to the shop. Obviously, I've adjusted all the dates, so I am recording this early, but it's correct as of going up. But yeah, Radiant Striker is a very colourful skin, to say the least. I'm not a fan of either Radiant or Brilliant Striker, and I don't think many other people are. It's weird that Radiant has yet to come back, despite the fact that Brilliant does seem to be on 30-day rotation at this point. It's very interesting, and I always get kind of giddy when Brilliant Striker comes back, just because I remember when she was one of the rarest skins out there. And yeah, I'll probably act the exact same when Radiant eventually does come out. But yeah, Radiant Striker, 822 days. Kind of insane. And then number 1 is a skin that has literally been the rarest skin for a very, very, very long time. He's undefeated, and that is Hackavat, 849 days. That's a long time, and I don't really think I even need to say the extent to which that is a long time. It's so long to not see this skin. And realistically, there isn't any reason why Hackovat hasn't returned yet. We've seen essentially everything from his set return except for him. And of course, he is an Oktoberfest skin. That is his intended purpose. And we've not seen him at any other Oktoberfest since he released, which is very odd in the grand scheme. Once again, just like Backbone, he is kind of an older looking character, so it's understandable that maybe he doesn't sell that well to kids. But at the same time, I'd say he's a very cool looking character. Not exactly my style necessarily, but I would definitely at least think about getting him. He's a very interesting looking skin, and I think he has a lot of potential for combos, which couldn't be said for a number of other rare skins. So generally with Hackovat, I just think it's odd that we haven't seen him return. As I say, most of his set has come back recently. I think there's a few odd parts of it that are as rare as him or similar rarity, but yeah, generally it's weird that the Oktoberfest stuff just hasn't like completely come back, only in parts. And yeah, that's number 1, 849 days with Hackovat. So as I alluded to in the beginning, I just want to quickly just talk about 2 skins that I think it's worth mentioning. They're not in the top 10, and only one of them is even in the top 20. But I just wanted to talk about Marshmallow at number 18, who hasn't been seen in 624 days. And this is despite him actually getting 2 UI changes and a bundle, all in the item shop UI, which it's so rare to actually see that much attention being put to something that isn't returning. And yeah, 624 days, it's a long time. It's got nothing on, Hackovat or Radiant Striker, but that's still, it's not far off Sash Sergeant, who's number 10. So it's weird that Marshmallow just hasn't come back, especially when it's such a popular skin, such a popular artist. I'm sure there's not anything stopping them from actually releasing it, because I'm sure Marshmallow and UMG are perfectly happy with that skin being released. I'm sure it makes money. People enjoy it. I'm a real big fan of that skin, and so is Matthew, one of the people that I play with regularly. So it's interesting that Marshmallow just seems to not be returning. And then the other skin I just want to mention is Sledge. I go on about Sledge decently a lot. He's number 26. He's not been seen in 586 days. And once again, he's a skin that has actually got a style that has never seen the item shop. It's a style that was added a few seasons back, and the skin hasn't come out in the shop at all since having that style, which is very unusual because this goes back to what happened recently with Kitbash finally returning. Kitbash got a style, and then within a few weeks of getting that style, suddenly he was back in the shop. It's weird that Sledge has gone 586 days without returning, and during that time has received a brand new style. Now, there's not really a reason for Sledge to not come back. I think it's probably something to do with story in some regard. The style is based on one of the henchman designs from early in Chapter 2, so it is definitely possible that there are story connotations to that skin that are going to be revisited at some point, and that's why we haven't seen him come to the item shop. They're waiting for a story beat. But I doubt it, and the fact that Sledge has been so long gone while having this new style, it's kind of concerning that they may have just forgotten about him, just like how they forgot about skins like Wake Rider, and for the longest time, Gemini, who isn't called Gemini, but I will continue to call her Gemini. It's a long story. But yeah, 586 days on Sledge, and he's number 26. So, I also said in the beginning that I wanted to talk about 2 skins that will, in my opinion, become the rarest without a doubt, and that is World Warrior and Paradigm. Now, World Warrior hasn't been seen in 624 days, which is the same as Marshmallow, technically putting her at number 18 alongside him, or somewhere around there, 17, 19, something in that range. And then Paradigm, who hasn't been seen in 547 days, which considerably fewer days gone, but still a lot. Still, more than you'd ever expect for a skin like that. But the caveat with both World Warrior and Paradigm is that they're technically never going to return. they're both item shop skins, and they weren't connected to the season shop like skins like Renegade Raider were, and otherwise they're not exclusives like something like Reflex, so it is interesting to think that these skins are regular item shop skins that we will never see again. Now, with both World Warrior and Paradigm, it's literally that they were limited releases. Epic told us they were only being released for a limited time, and this goes along with the fish stick style for the World Cup, which is also going to be in a similar boat of being exclusive, though obviously that skin alone isn't exclusive, it's just the style that was limited time, just like how Skull Trooper and Gold Trooper have their exclusive styles for first time owners. Fish stick has another style that you got if you had fish stick at the time. But with World Warrior, she's never returning, making her the rarest skin eventually. That is, if skins like Black Widow outfit and Star-Lord outfit do actually return, though, once again, as I kind of alluded to earlier when I went over those in their position, it is definitely possible they never return, especially with Black Widow having an alternative version already in the shop. But generally, World Warrior and Paradigm are definitely going to be the rarest skins eventually from the item shop, as long as Black Widow outfit, Star-Lord outfit actually return. But in any case, that is everything I wanted to go over in this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found out some information that you potentially didn't. I was actually kind of surprised with some of the positions, as well as how long it's actually been since Sledge came out. But in any case, I hope that you enjoyed it enough to like the video and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this as regularly as possible. Currently I'm doing daily uploads, but that could change at any moment. And yeah, tell me what skin you're looking forward to come back, whether that be in the top 10 or not. And yeah, otherwise, that's it for this video, and yeah, bye!
Lunar rainbow flag, happy pride, rabbit with facts. Streamer, let's play, they them out like dinosaurs. FNAFN, control, not the leader of a cult. Rabbit with sax, it's Lunar.